Hey Cub of Christ fam, welcome back to another Q&A car session. I'm actually here at the mall, on the parking lot. I was gonna head home, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna just do this right now because I'm not gonna have any time tomorrow to record this. So I made a boo-boo. I had written all your questions on my little notepad thing on my phone, and I think I accidentally deleted them because I cannot find them whatsoever. And so I had no question, and I was frantically looking for them too. I said, oh my gosh, what did I do with them? In that case, I'm gonna have to contact you guys individually and ask you for your questions again, just because I lost them all, and I'm so sorry, you guys. It's been a crazy week, and we finally moved out of the house. Like, it's complete, you know, we're no longer at that house now. It's just unpacking at this new house. Anyway, I had this conversation with my friend on the phone a couple of days ago, and we talked about this one question she gave to me, and it was really good, and I want to repeat this because I want to repeat our conversation. I asked her for permission, and so I asked her for permission. She's like, yeah, of course, go ahead. We had been talking on the phone about a lot of things, and then she got serious. She got real quiet, and I was like, are you all right? And she said, yeah, Leanne, I just don't understand. And I was like, understand what? She said, I thought that if God loves you, that he would give you your desires. And I said, well, he does, you know. The Bible says in Psalms, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And she replied, okay, but then if that's the case, my desire is I want to get married. I want to have kids. Why hasn't he given that to me? You know, and she said, and don't be like, you have to be patient. It's hard. And I said, that's true. It is hard. And she said, all my friends are either married or in a relationship, engaged, or having kids. And she said, and I'm getting older and I don't understand. And she was on the verge of tears, and I felt so bad because I totally understood where she was coming from. You know, in our single season, it can be so hard sometimes. There are so many times where I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? Why haven't you answered my petition? Why haven't you answered my request? Because I am tired of being alone. And so many times I had cried myself to sleep, and I really wanted that companionship. But as time went on, I realized that, you know, after everything God has done, everything has been, you know, in place. Everything has fallen in place, and everything has come in on time. My past few testimonies that I gave you were exactly that God was on time in every single one. So I said, but you're comparing your life to somebody else's life. You can't do that. You know, we each have a unique path, and that's what I love about the Lord, is that he made us completely different, each and every one of us different, to the fact that we have our own individual path that we have to take. And I don't think we understand that sometimes. I think we try to compare ourselves, and it's so easy because social media has done that. Social media, it has made it to that you compare your life to everybody else that you see on TV. Oh, that person graduated, or that person went overseas, or that person is in a wonderful relationship, or that person got engaged, or this person that. I mean, there's so many things that you can compare yourself, but the problem is that social media is just one little side of the story, and a lot of times people do so much just to get a like on Instagram. I have battled with that a lot. You know, I battled with trying to be popular, and as time went on, I realized I don't care about being popular. I have to use my social media to display the love of God, to display his mercy, to display what he has done in my life. And if my social media is just going to be a bunch of testimonies, perfect, that's okay, because it's all of God. I think sometimes we forget that. I think sometimes we forget that our lives are our testimony. But we get so impatient with the Lord. I gave her that verse, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And we forget that one beginning part where it says delight yourself in the Lord. Well, we just think that God says, well, he will give you the desires of your heart. No, he gives us the desires of our heart when we delight ourselves in him. What does that mean? That means that we get involved with him. We get involved in his ministry. We get involved in his work. We get involved in who he is. We fall in love with him first. And that's the thing, I think, that, you know, we forget to fall in love with him, but yet we expect to fall in love with other people. How can we learn to love other people when we don't even know how to love him? And guys, when you rush his hand, I can honestly say from experience, you will be heartbroken. I thank God that he saved me from my impatience. There was a time where I got desperate and I signed up for one of those dating apps, and I found a nice young man. But the problem is that he wasn't what God had for me. And I'm not going to go into details, but I mean, we dated for a year and he proposed and everything. And it was funny because the moment he proposed, in the back of my mind, I was like, this is not how I pictured it. This is not how I thought I would be proposed to. And I was right. I mean, it wasn't what God had for me. And I'm thankful that it ended the way it did. But I mean, I had to suffer. I got hurt. I got really hurt. And I cried so much. And I actually thought I would never find love again. But, you know, God restored me. God gave me hope. And God now has given me peace that he's taking care of everything. Again, you can try to push God's hand. I mean, that's one thing I love about God. It's the free will. You know, he's not going to force you. He's not going to command you and say, you have to do it or else. No, God's not like that. You know, he gives you an option, and you can either listen to him or trust him, or you can go your route and end up being extremely hurt. The wonderful thing is that God is still there, and God listens, and God hears, and he's like, you know, even though you messed up, even though you didn't listen to me, I'm going to heal you, and you're going to be okay. Everything works for good to those that love him. And I love that verse, because all the mistakes that I will make, he will turn it and transform it so that it benefits me. Whoever the Lord has for you, that special person that the Lord has for you, it will come. It will happen. You know, and in each day we just got to get up. And it might be a day-to-day thing where we just have to give our singleness to the Lord and say, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this moment, because and sometimes some days it'll hit you so hard that, you know, you feel it. You're like, I'm all alone, nobody wants me, I'm never gonna be married, you know, all that stuff, all those thoughts can come. In those moments, you just have to really hold on to the Lord and reach out to him and ask him to heal you and say, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this, but you've got to get me through this moment, because I'm really hurting. You know, and the thing about it is that the Lord will always, he'll always remind you that he's got it taken care of, that he's got that special someone for you. And when you wait on the Lord, you're gonna get so much more than you actually thought you wanted. You know, that person is going to make you a better person for the Lord. That person is going to make you fall in love with the Lord even more. That person is going to push you more towards the Lord. And you guys, when the Lord answers, he answered with so much more than what you expected. Trust me. And everything that I've gone through in these past months have made me realize that, you know, God is in control, that God is taking care of everything, and that everything does actually work out for the better. You know, that just like I said, my last testimony, it said it was exactly that. You know, everything worked out so much better than I could have planned. So in the same aspect, God can work with, you know, giving you a spouse, that person that you were longing for. But the thing is that, are you willing to wait on him? Because sometimes either he's still molding you or he's still molding your partner. Now, you don't want to enter a relationship prematurely, because you might not be mature enough. You might not be mature enough to help your spouse or your significant other in times when they are needing. You know, they're hurting, because in a relationship there will be times where you're hurting or they're hurting, and you have to ask the Lord, how do I help them? How do I you know, pray for them? Show me how to love them. And because, you know, we're all human and we all make mistakes, and we have to look past all those mistakes, just like God did. And again, it comes down to actually loving the Lord and falling in love with who he is. When you fall in love with who he is, and when you love like he loves, then you'll be able to see how you can love your future spouse. So if you are single right now, pray for your future spouse and ask the Lord, Lord, I don't know what he or she is going through. I'm praying for them, but please, God, use them and move them and work in them, so that when we finally come together, we can come together at your time, and we'll be able to go forward in what you have for us, and we will be more powerful together because we waited for you. So guys, I know, again, I'm so sorry about this is just one question, but I really wanted to get into depth with it because I see it a lot. I see a lot of people asking me that. And I just want you to know that, and encourage you that God takes care of everything, but right now it's your time. If you're single, I know you hear it all the time, enjoy your single season, but actually get more involved with the Lord, because when you get married or when you find your spouse, you'll be able to help that person and you both will be able to help each other grow. And right now is the time to pray earnestly for your future spouse, because guys, we are all going through it. We're all struggling, and knowing that, you know, your future spouse is praying for you is a wonderful feeling. So guys, again, I'm sorry this is just one question, and I'll answer other questions next month. I will be reaching out to those of you individually and ask you for your questions again. So if you see this and I don't get you first, just message me your questions. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next Monday. God bless you.